welcome back to the episode. I've got more shows on sale. I'm now coming to Bendigo. Melbourne has been rescheduled. Adelaide, I'm coming back, doing the biggest show I've ever done there. Bunbury, Perth, get the fuck down. I booked a theatre, 1,000 seats. So bring everyone you've ever known or met. I'm doing the biggest show of my life in Perth. Well, hopefully. If you guys come, it will be the biggest show I've ever done. Otherwise, it will be the biggest failure of my life. And I don't want to be doing Perth Fest 2024 where we get a big redemption arc. That would suck. So please get down to Perth. I would appreciate it. LukeKidgel.com. Then I'm coming back to Canberra to do an all-ages show. Hervey Bay, Cairns, Townsville, Mackay, Rockhampton, Toowoomba, Sunshine Coast, Gold Coast, Brisbane, Launceston, and Hobart. Biggest tour I've ever done. I would love to see you there. Tickets at LukeKidgel.com. Lewis might also be opening some of the bigger shows as well, depending on what COVID does.
You never know who you'll see at our shows.
Yes. So, yeah, come on down and depending on what happens with COVID, I'm going to do everything in my power to make these shows go ahead. So get a ticket and you get a refund if it doesn't go ahead. So, yeah, that's it. Enjoy the rest of the episode.
We're rolling. Let's start.
Are we rolling?
All right.
Who's rolling? Down in the deep.
Do you guys know anything about rolling down in the deep? Guys, Zoom episodes are back. Welcome. You're welcome. The incredible content has returned and we're stoked. It looks like lockdown is ending, but then we got 4 cases at a vaccination center, so it looks like it might get extended.
Yes! I love being stranded interstate for fun. It's not expensive at all or inconvenient. It's great.
Yeah. Keelan's already booked his flight back as soon as he heard about lockdown ending, and then it's almost like they just wanted to fuck with him. They're like, now that Keelan's booked his flight, tell him about the other cases.
I'm actually thrilled I get to hang out with the puppy.
Okay, great. I had a show last night in Wollongong. It was at a uni, right? And it was so
First
good.
time you've ever been to a uni?
Literally, everyone in the crowd was so smart. Like you'd ask people like what they do, and they're like, I'm studying, and I don't even like know what the degree means. Like they're like, I'm studying biomedical engineering, and you're like, what? Like how do you engineer something medically?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. To me, like someone who failed high school, that sounds like they're making a bridge out of cum.
Yeah. Yeah, which is it's not very civil if you want to be a civil engineer doing a cum bridge. See, that's why I don't even know how to joke about smart things. I was just really out of my depth at some points of the show, but then I found some tradies in the front row, and I was like, oh, thank God. My people. But it was great, man. And I don't know if you saw in the story, but the whole line of the show was queuing up before the show, and they could see me doing the sound check. So during my sound check, I was like, hello. I was just helloing the line. And guys can report 90% hit rate in the line. We got a lot of hellos back. The whole line at one point would have just been going, hello, hello. And then anyone walking past would have been like, what the fuck is this show?
I think that the hello has kind of become the official greeting of the Luke and Lewis show. Like, we've never done it outside of Luke and Lewis, which means that we now know if someone sees us in the street and they go, hello, that's a real fan. You know, that's a real Luke and Lewis fan.
There's actually 3 ways to pick a Luke and Lewis fan. There is, if they're wearing merch is like the obvious giveaway. Hello is my favorite, but also people RSVPing. Since the last episode, last night, a bunch of people RSVP'd that they were not coming to GimpFest. A few people coming, but mainly people from Wollongong are not going to attend. But they're not in the mandatory 4-hour zone.
Oh, well, that's okay then. We appreciate if you're outside the mandatory, we appreciate it, but we understand if you're not coming. If you're coming, that's amazing. If you're within the 4-hour radius, you better be moving outside of it because attendance is mandatory.
Here's one area of concern that I wanted to bring up just quickly before we get into the meat of the episode.
Well, Reuben might have to leave.
Oh, sorry, Reuben. We are going to do some meat today.
Do you have any vegetables for the episode?
No.
Fuck.
But this guy's brain, who I'm about to discuss, might be a vegetable.
All right.
So,
all right.
I'm pretty excited for this.
Yeah. No, he was a good bloke, but he just made one huge error.
Yeah.
Came up to me after the show. I didn't really see anything. He was wearing a green hoodie with a logo on it. I didn't think much of it. I was like, hey, mate, thanks for coming to the show. Great. And he goes, do you like my hoodie? Upon further inspection, this man at our show was wearing an official Chicken Imp merch hoodie to the show.
Kick him out.
And I was furious, but also just confused because he goes, you guys promoted it on the show. And I go, what do you mean? I'm like, I didn't know this actually existed. Did you know that he actually had merch?
Yeah, he sent us a link. There's print-on-demand fucking Chicken Imp merch. It
But
sucks.
how do people find it? We didn't post it anywhere.
I hope they never find it.
So there's a guy out there, like this Chicken Imp person, whoever Chicken Imp is just profiting off our fans. What are we going to do about this? I go, how much did you pay for it? And the guy goes, like $40.
$40?
The worst part about it was like a good quality, like it was a good hoodie.
Don't say that.
No, other than the logo, I fucking hated what it meant and what it represented. But like, it was a good quality hoodie, and it made me so angry because I don't think the guy.
I've done hoodies before, better than mine.
I mean, it was like similar quality.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Mine
which
has
is
to
so
be
annoying.
better.
And this is what pissed me off. The guy didn't buy any of my merch.
That sucks.
That made me so angry. Yeah, it made me furious.
Well, we at least need a referral fee from Chicken Imp. We're going to need at least 20% of sales.
I don't think. Well, I mean, we haven't met his demand, so why would he meet ours? So there's this weird stalemate now where there is the villain of the show is just profiting out of our fan base.
Man,
which is pretty annoying.
horrific.
So I don't know what we're going to do about it, but people are now turning up to shows wearing rival merch. So just a warning before you two are later in the year. You may have to kick some people out. Make sure you have security at every show.
Yeah, I'll have security checking for any Chicken Imp merch, anything Tom and Frenchie. They won't be allowed in.
Yeah, great. Well, as long as that's sorted. So yeah, to whoever that guy was, I know you're going to listen to this. It was a pretty bold move walking into enemy territory wearing that shit. And also,
this?
he's selling bright green hoodies.
Yeah, weird color. I have a proposition, all right? Obviously, you know, you've bought the hoodie. Maybe it's really comfortable. You spent $40 on it. I currently have access to the joint account, the Luke and Lewis account. I'll pay you $50 to send us a video of you burning it.
Deal.
That's profit.
Yeah.
So whoever that is, if you send us a video of you burning your hoodie, we'll send you $50 from the Luke and Lewis joint account.
And I'll know if
that's
it's the guy.
Expense.
I'll know. I met him. I have video of him actually. So
yeah, great.
Yeah, I wanted evidence.
This is only for that guy. Don't go and buy a hoodie and then send us a video just to try and make a profit. That is a scam.
Yeah, no, and I mean, you can do that, and we'd love to see you burning them, but we will not give you money. You'll waste $40 and then burn a good bit of cotton. Well, a shitty bit of cotton. It's so uncreative, man. The merch is literally as described. It's literally just a screenshot of the 46 subscribers on his YouTube channel.
Fuck.
It's
That's
fucked.
good.
It kind of looks like one of those like designer brands that like, you know, like they just post random shit and they go like, this is worth something.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? How? It looks like that
yeah,
vibe.
I agree. Yeah.
It's so shit that he almost could charge $1,000 for it.
Yeah, but Balenciaga would sell it.
Yeah. So other than that though, it was it's good to be doing shows. How's lockdown been, you nerds?
Man, lockdown's been lockdown. I've been playing video games and I've started making videos. Epic. And I started building a home NAS system for video storage.
Oh, a bit of storage, bit of admin, nice.
Yeah. And I've been booking in my tour, and then I've been finishing all of those things, watching Attack on Titan, and then being sad.
See, that was the most aggressively relatable thing to probably 15 to 20% of our audience right then would have been like, damn, I feel
Sound
that.
off below. Who else is building a NAS and then feeling sad?
Yeah, I think the sad bit was pretty relatable to a lot of people.
Okay. Yeah, maybe not the NAS.
Yeah. Man, I don't know I have a few other stories, but I think we need to go on with this segment. Reuben had an idea for a segment today. And when the ideas are running low, sometimes we call upon our editors for content.
I know. And by the way, Luke, I love how you preface this segment because, whenever there's like a risky idea that you've come up with, you always go, and Reuben came up with this idea. So it's really good. So if it doesn't work, you can just blame your shit idea on Reuben. That's great.
But if it does work, I get to take all the credit.
Well, this one, no, but also, yeah. I was gonna say, I'm now worried that the idea is gonna go great, and if it becomes a regular segment, I'll be furious for not claiming credit. All right, so the segment is each of us have a story to tell. They're not great because 3 of you or 2 of you are in lockdown, and I have just pretty much been traveling around. I spent 9 hours driving the other day, so I don't have many stories, just a lot of road. It was sick, so I love road. And so we're going to tell the start and the middle of each of our stories, and we're going to go around the room, but we have to we can only pick one story that we want to hear the end of. Yeah. And that's the segment.
Cool.
You know what? It's
kind of a
great
pitch, I think. You have to pitch a story.
Yeah, okay. But I know, I also think you need to pitch it kind of like the blurb, but also maybe tell the start of it just so we can get a feel for your storytelling technique.
Well, guys,
as well.
I think you should all let me tell my story because it's an exciting one.
Okay.
Now, let me just give you just the bare bones information that you need, right, to just entice you a little bit. It's going to be one of the best stories ever told on the podcast, and I really think you should all invest your votes into my story because I think it's really going to pay off. And I think if we don't tell my story, the sound off section is going to be full of people putting poo emojis in the comments. Because this
Stop
episode
trying to sway the audience. Stop trying to.
Well, there are going to be poo emojis because your story won't be chosen. So I'm looking forward to reading all the poo emojis.
Okay. Well, Reuben, I wasn't going to interrupt your pitch. You're interrupting mine. So good luck pitching your story. Okay.
You haven't even pitched anything. What's the story? You're just saying.
This is part of the pitch. I'm saying that it's a good story. The audience is going to love it, and they'll be disappointed if it's not told.
Reuben and Keelan. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I think he's bluffing. I think he's done so little this week that he does not have a story for the show.
Absolutely false. Absolutely false. Woke up early in the morning, and I've been trying to put on weight. I've been eating a lot of food, which I haven't been used to. Right?
Is that related to your stories?
This is the information that you need to have.
We're halfway through.
Shut up. I went and I opened up the fridge and I had a protein bar thing that I've never had before. Some kind of yogurt weird brand made some protein bar that has no sugar and a bunch of weird ingredients in it. I then go to the cafe. I get a massive coffee. I have not used the bathroom this morning. I go to the park to then feed the ducks. Rumbling happens. That's all you get.
Okay, you've really sucked me in. You've teased a big old shit, which... So, well,
Mate, I had to do a bit of sucking in, too.
No, but either way, boys, we'll get some shit, either in the comments or in the story. We'll get a bit of poo content regardless.
What's the bet? The story just ends with him farting.
I would say 100%.
No, you know what the story ends with? Greatness.
Okay. Keelan, what's your story?
Hang on, I'll put my video on. My story's significantly better. I went for a walk with the dog yesterday, and I stumbled across something that changed my afternoon.
Oh, just your afternoon? Not even your life?
Not
even your day?
Yeah.
He's already over it.
Hang on, I'll be more specific. Changed my walk.
Didn't even change your afternoon.
Okay.
Not much of a pitch, is it?
I've got another one I can tell.
Probably better than mine.
And Keelan, what would your emoji, your official story emoji be for the sound off section?
The little dog emoji.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boring emoji.
All right. Well.
Is that the whole pitch?
Oh no! Yeah. Hang on, I have another one. I can tell.
No, you only get one.
No,
you get the one.
Right.
Thing.
That's it. I'm done.
Reuben, can you do yours next? Because I'm still trying to think of if I have a story. So I'm just stalling. So.
Well, that's not the best pitch.
Yeah, I can do mine. Happy to do mine. My story is entitled Milk Disaster. So, yeah.
Sounds like mine.
It also sounds like it could be another poo/fart story.
It's not. It's not. I don't go blue in this story.
Okay.
I was making milk the other day, and as I was...
How do you make milk? You
got
a cow out the back?
It's oats and cashews.
What do you mean making milk?
Well,
this guy is such a cheapskate that he makes his own fucking almond milk.
And you know what, guys? I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna go into this.
How long to hang on? Stop.
Yeah.
How
Well,
long does it take?
I would love to tell you how long it takes, but you're gonna have to hear more about it in the story.
No, you gotta tell us how long does it take. I don't give
How
a
long
fuck
does
about
it
your
take?
story.
Probably takes 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes.
Okay.
Well, to save like
That's
$3.
a lot less long than it
How little do you value your time? Like, how much is almond milk?
$3. I just Googled it.
Well, for a liter, right?
Yeah, how much
$3
do
a
you
liter, which is
make?
pretty expensive.
$2.80.
I make two.
It's not that expensive.
No, it's not. But I do this. I've been doing this for like 5 years. So add it up.
How
Add it up over
often?
5
How
years.
often? How often? How often? How many times a week?
Twice a week.
Okay, so 104 times 5 times 20 minutes. 10,400 minutes.
Oh,
So-
not dollars. How many dollars have I saved? Though? That's what I want to know.
173 hours,
Yeah,
which is
so
about
you've done that.
$3,500 at $20 an hour that you've wasted.
Not wasted. I would say I've worked because in a way I'm making money when I make milk.
Yeah,
because
but
I'm-
you could have been making cash in that time. You could have been like working
How
on a
many
side
liters
hustle.
of milk do you reckon
I
you
can't believe I'm
consume?
getting bullied for making food.
Okay,
Like that.
no,
Is this what this show's come to?
It's not
You're
No,
food.
I
really-
want to know. I want to
It's a
know how
liquid,
much.
firstly.
How many liters of milk do you have a week? Do you think?
Well, I make 2 liters every time I make a batch, so I guess 4 liters. But
4
maybe
liters
two,
a week.
two times a week is probably more often than it actually is. It'd probably be 1 to 2 times a week.
This
Alright.
is really... Okay,
Well, it's riveting
Lewis,
stuff,
we have
but look, guys-
derailed We have derailed
mean-
the story pitch.
If you guys are like that, you're gonna lose your shit when you hear the real story.
Can I've just done some quick math here, Reuben. If you were to bill your time as $20 an hour, you would make $3,500 instead of saving $2,900. So you are actually officially losing money, even if you're only making $20 an hour. Case closed. Buy some milk.
All right, that's a good argument. But I'm happy making my milk. I think it's almost like a hobby to have. All right, it's a good thing to engage in. Anyway,
Well, no, hobbies are interesting, so you're also wrong there.
well, my hobby's tasty. Yum yum yum. So I was making the milk, and you know what's distracting? I can see Luke thinking about his own story while I'm telling mine.
Well, that's how boring your story is. You haven't held anyone's interest.
Well, he just doesn't
Yeah.
have a story.
Yeah, but... No,
He's
but
trying
I'm
to think
now
of the perfect
thinking...
emoji.
No, I was thinking that I have a milk-related story, but the story is just I bought milk, so I'm not going to tell that one.
That's pretty good.
But I'm thinking that could be better than Reuben's story because it means I'm not poor and I haven't wasted any time at the end of it. So,
Better than making it.
all right, finish your pitch.
Yep. So I don't want to go into too many details because there aren't many. But I was making the milk, and
shock.
something went wrong that really soured the result, I would say.
This
And
is
I can't-
all your
yeah, that's it,
stories
that's
are
the end
just
of it.
like a 2017 Logan Paul vlog. Like it's whatever you did gone wrong. That's
Yeah,
all. Like
that's it.
Lewis.
That's correct.
Lewis just forgot to shit, and then that went wrong, and he went for a walk. You've had a milk disaster. I'm assuming Keelan
Yeah.
fucked up walking somehow, and
No,
I
that's
don't
not
really
true.
have. Okay, so my story.
What's the
is-
official emoji to your story, Reuben, for the sound off
This is the one I'm gonna go with.
for people to vote.
Is there a milk emoji?
I think there is.
Well, then
No,
that one.
but it's regular cow milk. So
Oh, fuck. Is there an oat emoji?
Do the
there's
nut
a nut
emoji.
emoji.
Okay, how about the nut? Let's do the nut emoji.
Okay, great.
I don't like.
What
that.
about the emoji of like I don't know. Is there one for like is there one of the money flying down? You know, the flying cash because you're wasting time and cash.
Losing money.
Well, I'm making money though, so let's do the cash emoji. I like.
What
the
about
cash
the
emoji.
one of like the stocks going down? That's probably the emoji of your story.
No. Stock's going up, please.
Okay,
Um,
stop going up emoji.
Even though that's not even what my story's about at all. But let's do
The
stocks
emoji-
going up.
So the emoji of my story that I've run with, and it's a great story. I'm glad I had time to think about it. Probably the beers clinking emoji would be the emoji to sum it up. So a bit of a clink. So a little bit of fun and a little bit of festivities.
Okay.
At the Wollongong show last night, I get to the venue and they say, "Oh, do you have a rider?" And I said, "Oh no, I think we forgot. That's all right, all good. Happy with water." And they go, "No, don't worry. We'll get you some beers." And I go, "Okay, great. That'd be awesome because Reese and I get thirsty on a Wednesday." So also they gave us a bunch of food, which I then didn't really eat much because we'd already ate Guzman and Gomez beforehand. But that's not really relevant to the story, so I should leave that out. Long story short, I won't give away the
Glad
ending.
you put it in the pitch instead of the story.
Turns out there was a bit of a kerfuffle with the venue staff, and they gave us way too many beers than they were supposed to. Way too many.
Okay.
Then one of the employees got in trouble with her boss in front of us, and our original plan was to take the beers home. But we'd already watched this girl get blasted by a boss for giving us too many.
Yeah.
So, and that's it. So I won't tell you what we did, but
You told us the whole story.
no, I
the whole
haven't. No,
story.
There's
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
There's one key part that I haven't told. So she was getting blasted,
okay,
and we were then unsure of whether to take the beers. And I'll leave you sitting on that cliffhanger.
Can I suggest an emoji for you, Luke? There's a burrito emoji.
But I already said that Guzman wasn't relevant to the story.
Okay. Well, if you want to hear Luke's story, beers clinking. If you would rather hear more Guzman and Gomez stuff, burritos. I will be commenting burrito.
I actually... Can we go into this maybe after this? Reuben and I were having a big argument the other week on tour of what's better,
When are you
Zambreros...
not on tour?
Huh?
When are you not doing that?
Well, that's true. Oh, we also had a huge argument about if Ed Sheeran was good or not. And now whenever he comes on in the car, we all get angry that he's not critically acclaimed and put on Taylor Swift, mate. I hope you know that has become a meme of the tour.
Okay.
That's actually
Reuben
great. I
argued
appreciate
for 1 hour in the car about if Ed Sheeran was good or not regarding one article that you read in Pitchfork magazine. That was without a doubt the most pretentious argument that I've ever had in my
You
entire
are
life.
absolutely
I can't like Ed
mischaracterizing this
Sheeran.
argument.
Pitchfork said they were bad, so
That's
I have to think
literally-
No, it wasn't
is
even
what
about
he
whether
was
or not I
arguing.
like Ed Sheeran.
It was.
It was the fact that your girlfriend was arguing that Ed Sheeran was essentially like an auteur, and I was like, well, he's actually not. It's not like he's critically acclaimed. Anyway, that was the argument.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
And I
move
go,
on.
my favorite part of the
You
argument
can
was
only
when I
be
said,
good if some fucking journalist that works for Pitchfork goes, yeah, I reckon he's good.
it was my favorite part of the argument, just to conclude this discussion, was when I go, so what do you mean by critically acclaimed? Like what's this? Like, who are these critics? And then he goes, there's publications, and he just completely stumbled and just said, the certain publications.
The press?
That was
That's good.
That was a good part.
That
Anyway,
line of thinking is really going to backfire if you get one of your shows reviewed.
Oh yeah, I'll quit. I'll quit if I
Yeah.
get a bad review for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, well, fuck. Guys, amazing news. Manscaped sponsored the show. The best pube razor in the game. Really good stuff. We're all using it. And just before we recorded the episode, we all just did a bit of a quarantine checkup. just to make sure that all members of the team have been using the Manscaped. And I've got to say, everyone is looking really great, really clean. I really recommend it. Manscaped.com. And, maybe get one for your entire workplace and have just once a week, just a weekly nether regions check. It's a great workplace activity.
Do what we do. Share the one razor, very hygienic. No, guys, we all have our own razors.
I don't think that Manscaped would approve of that. I think they would much prefer everyone keep their razor to themselves.
That's true.
Sharing
very
the results.
Hygienic.
Yeah.
And if you want one to yourself, use our code SOUNDOFF for 20% off and free shipping. Lewis, you know what people say about our show? You know what people say? I've heard what people say.
Yeah, I've heard. Of course, I've heard what they say. Yeah.
Oh, what do they say?
Well, I they say many things.
Yeah, but what
they
I've
say any
heard
number of things. They say that it's good. They say that it's great. They say what else do they say?
Yeah, well, the main thing people say is they go, Luke and Lewis, and the people go, oh, yeah, the podcast. And they go, yeah. Oh, those are the guys with the smooth rims.
Yeah, they do
and
say
people
that.
go, yeah. And that's because Manscaped sponsor our podcast, and we hate hair here. So
yeah, we really do. Yeah.
Manscaped.com.au, use code SOUNDOFF, 20% off free shipping. And also, Lewis, once you've got that sorted, right, and then you want to just be comfortable for the rest of the day, get yourself in some knobby underwear. Do it now. Right now. Do it.
Right now. Get those bonds and flick them out the window. They suck. They're terrible. They're bad quality. Calvin Klein, more like Calvin D. Klein, because Manscaped is fucking Nobby is taking over the game.
Yeah. More.
Have you frozen?
Bonds, more like. Nah, my brain has though. Oh,
this delay sucks.
Nah, it's
Are we
awesome.
back?
Yeah, it's alright. I had literally nothing to say. I was trying to think of
Nobby underwear is so good that it actually disrupts the connection of this Zoom call every time we speak about it.
Yes, that's how. I don't know why that would be a good part of the product, but that's how thick the cotton is. We do love Nobby here. $5 off the Undy Club. So sorry, $5 off your first purchase to the Undy Club when you use our code SOUNDOFF. So just do it today. What's stopping you? That's what I want to know. What's stopping you? Because a bunch of people at my show last night were showing me their knobs. It was great. Oh, their knobbies. I shouldn't have shortened it there.
Yeah. The people who support Nobby, they'll show you your Nobby. The people who are Manscaped fans show their knob. It's a very easy thing to get mixed up.
Yeah, but you don't have to pick your team. You can do both. We encourage you to because really, once you're done with our podcast, your genitals are just sorted for the rest of the day, guy or girl.
Oh, absolutely. Like our fan base, a lot of people say, oh, we've got the best fans. Okay, other people might have the best fans. We have the best fans nether regions, for sure. Because not only are they trimmed and clean and fresh, they're also comfortable and stylish.
Exactly right. Guys, nobby.com.au. All right, back to the podcast.
I think my story has the best.
So who are we voting for?
Best outcome.
Well, you can't vote for yourself, Keelan, so...
Well, I'm just saying.
Sound off section, release the emojis now. They won't matter at all at the moment, but they will be taken into account next episode when we'll decide whether or not we made a mistake.
No, I think we should tell the end of all 3 stories that don't get picked on the next Patreon episode.
Okay, great. That's good.
Yeah. Just we'll keep them behind a paywall, and people only get one. It's probably the most frustrating segment to listen to as a cheapskate listener of the show.
Okay, well, I'm going to vote for Keelan's story because I would also like my afternoon change. Well, actually, I'm going for a walk later, and I would like to change that.
What? I said I stumbled across something that changes my walk.
How much is he paying you, Lewis? How much is he paying you for that vote? What the fuck?
Well, I've got to walk soon, so I would like it to also be changed.
Come on, that is a way better pitch than any of yours.
What do you mean, milk disaster?
Okay, well that's wrong. Mine was better.
Making milk gone wrong?
Gone sexual?
Reuben, who are you voting for?
I think it's got to be Luke. Actually, I really I really wasn't prepared to vote for you because you didn't have a story, but I actually liked the lead up to yours. I think I'm going to go for Luke.
But were you mainly just wanting to hear more stuff about burritos? Because that's not how the story ends.
No, I'm not interested in the burritos. I mean, look, it's the best of a bad bunch. Let's not kid ourselves here. Keelan's
False. Mine's great.
Lewis's is going to be about farts, and I don't enjoy that. So
Incorrect.
I'm going to pick Luke's.
See, I'm torn here because one thing I kind of do want to hear about farts, and that's funny to me. But also, I think I've gone down this path before. I know what happens after Lewis drinks a protein shake and goes for a walk. That there'll be shit running down his leg, and I think I already know the end. I don't think I need to hear the end of the story to know how that ends. Reuben, you didn't grab me at all. I got so bored that I just, How is a story titled "The Milk Disaster"? That just sounds like a shit kids book written by like someone on the project, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
mate. The people
like when all those comedians
Peter Hillier put that out
book
next
deals.
week.
Yeah.
What beats the milk disaster? That's what I want to know.
Don't read
mate,
this book.
You're not going to like
in
my
terms of
answer. You're not going to like my answer to who I'm going to vote for because I think Keelan's got my vote.
God,
yeah,
unbelievable.
It's a good story.
Well, don't worry, Reuben. If you sign up to the Patreon, you'll get to hear Luke's story and my story and tell yours.
My own story. Can't wait for that.
Okay. Well,
so Keelan's left.
why is he left?
Just leave?
What's he doing? Does he need props for the story?
His story got voted for, and then he walks out. He's bringing the dog.
I can handle the pressure.
I left to get a prop.
Okay.
Oh. So this
All right,
is.
So tell us the story that changed your afternoon, but then was bumped down to changing just your walk.
So me and Lily were going for a walk, and I let her off the lead so she could walk next to me.
So Lily's the dog, right?
Lily's the dog. This dog.
Just to be clear.
Who the fuck else would it be, Reuben?
That's exactly why I wanted to clarify.
Just one of Phoebe's friends on a leash.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's always going to Canberra.
And we're going for this walk in this next to this park, next to this oval, and I kind of go off the beaten track. I go to where there's just trees so Lily can have fun and poo and I don't have to pick it up. Not that I would do that.
Don't you have to pick it up? No matter where it happens?
No one saw me, so it doesn't matter, right?
You're the most inconsiderate person. When you know when you're at the shopping center and there's fucking trolleys everywhere just ramming into cars, and you think, who the fuck doesn't put the trolley back? It's Keelan.
Anyway, we're walking, and we come up to this kind of
doesn't deny it.
So how was that even part of the story?
No, it makes sense. I wasn't on the walking path.
Right.
And we come up to this section where there's a big drain one way and a big drain the other way, and we're trapped in this triangular section. And I looked at Lily and said, I'm not walking around a kilometer to get back on this track. So
what did she say?
she was like this. She was like, cool. And so I got into the
really
drain.
Said cool. That's crazy.
And I picked her up and I put her over. And then I ran up the
that
drain.
Wasn't the headline.
My dog talks.
Sorry, did I interrupt Keelan's final punchline? What was the end of the story?
I got in the drain, picked Lily up, walked her over, put her over the other end of the drain, and then walked up.
That's it?
Yeah. I told you it changed my walk.
Wait.
So,
you know what? The headline wasn't wrong. It sounds like your walk was completely thrown out by that.
Well, either you had to go over the fence or turn back, so that either way changes your walk.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't change your afternoon though.
No.
Yeah, well, that's why
I'm glad you walked it back a bit.
So that's my story. What do you guys think?
I think I'm really excited for the Patreon episode, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should just start recording that. Actually, we have a couple of other things to mention. How long have we been going for? I don't even know.
Half an hour.
Oh, okay, great. Yep. So, I need to talk about why the episode is a bit later than usual. Why it wasn't out on audio. It is my fault. Lewis, I've made an executive decision. No, I've made an executive decision as after what happened yesterday. Luke Kidgel, am never gonna stay in cheap accommodation ever again. I'm just not gonna do it. It's not worth it.
What? What?
I mean, I don't really stay in that cheap accommodation, but like it was yesterday was fucked. It was like staying. It was titled resort. So when you think resort, what do you think?
Yeah. Like pools, amenities, paradise, like just, I expect, when I hear resort, I expect I should be able to live there and have a nice time without leaving. Like buffet breakfast, a gym, everything. Resort.
Yeah. So we got there at 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. I forget. And we walked into a room. It's me, Reese, and Meg. It's just one room.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all sleeping in the same room, and this is 4 stars apparently, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. I think the definition of the star system of hotels has changed because I don't think it's very hard to get a 4 anymore. Because
I don't think so. Like 3 is average. I feel like most places that we've stayed should be a 3.
No, 3 is literally the bare minimum. I did a bit of research. They don't hand out 2 or 1 anymore. To even be operating as a hotel, I think you have to be a 3. And that's the shittest of the shit.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think, like, if you're going to get a 1, you shouldn't own a business. But what that means
a 1 is just camping, surely.
Well, yeah, but even then, that's what you pay for. Like, you pay for the less things for some reason. But, like, a 3, based on that now, if they don't give out 2s and 1s, a 3 is now a 1. So they don't have to try.
So essentially, the max you can get is a 3-star now, because that's a 5. They've completely fucked their own system. But we're staying in a 4-star resort, so I was like, this can't be bad. We get in there, it says Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, great, we need that to do the episode, which we tried to do yesterday. I couldn't even barely connect to the Zoom call, right? It was awful. And then I tried hotspotting my thing. My phone plan ran out of data right at the end, right? And then I was trying
I'm yelling at Luke, get on Aldi Mobile. It's the best.
Which, by the way, I've since gone and purchased, right? And even Telstra, who Reese and Meg are with, was dropping out. I was getting better reception on Optus for some reason, right? Oh. So we couldn't even, it didn't even have data, like we couldn't even hotspot because there was no reception.
Yeah.
It was like staying in a resort in 2005 that was like 2 stars, man. It sucked.
Yes.
We got there at 9:30 p.m. There was a pub or a tavern across the road. They were pretty much closing. Reese and I just didn't want to stay at the place, so we just left and went there until we were so tired that we would just fall asleep straight away, right? We just went across the road and had some beers and stuff because we were just like, we did not want to be in this fucking room. And also, like, Meg needed to have a shower and stuff. It's like, look, we're all in this tiny fucking room. Let's just give her some space and we'll leave. And it was one of the worst experiences. Like, I know I probably sound like an asshole, but I've since got to the Meriton in Sydney, and now we're in a double-story hotel room, which is significantly... but even the internet here is fucked. Even in a 5-star hotel, I can barely see
they're not
you.
good
Lewis
anywhere.
is moving like
good.
this.
Yeah.
So that's just it. I was so fucking angry. What else was I angry about, Reese? I was furious, and it was so much funnier in my head when I was raging at you guys. You guys were dying laughing, but I was in the moment of peak anger. And now I've just let it go.
It was just the most fucked situation. It was just like the real return to Zoom. Because Zoom sucked when we were in our homes. Now Zooming while Luke has to connect to like a hotel's Wi-Fi is even more terrible. I'll tell you about the worst place I've ever stayed. I don't think I've told you this. This was before I knew you. This was my second, maybe it was my first tour, I think. It was my second or my first, I can't remember. Had no money, right? And I booked everything myself, so I didn't really know what I was doing. And I was so broke that in Sydney, I found this hotel right in the CBD that was like $50 a night. Like crazy fucking cheap. Insanely cheap. And I had never toured before, so I'm like, oh my god, $50 a week. This is when Airbnb was still new, so I'm like, man, this is like perfect. So I go there, and the photos looked okay, and they had Wi-Fi and all this kind of stuff. And I get there, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that the space that I stayed in was actually like a tiny 1-bedroom that the guy had put up like temporary paper thin walls and sectioned the 1-bedroom into 3 different rooms, and then sectioned those tiny spaces that were the size of closets, right, with high ceilings. And then he had sectioned all of the available space into 3 bunk beds that he definitely built himself with like wood from Bunnings and a shit hammer. And I couldn't even, because I'm tall, but like a normal person wouldn't be able to stretch out on the bed that was sectioned into 3. And and I'd booked to stay there for like 7 days because I think I thought I was going to get some like little small internship with the Chaser at the time. So I booked for a week, and that was all I could afford. It was fucking hell.
So this is the dumb part, is I'm selling out every show, right? I could be staying in good places, but it wasn't even, it was just a mistake. We thought it was a good place. We've been staying in really nice places this tour, which is so good. Thank you so much for coming to the shows, because this tour has been much better than previous tours to go on, because it's just like not staying in shitholes. But it was just a mistake, and like Meg felt so bad. She's like, I'm so sorry. Like, what annoyed me was it wasn't cheap. It was just shit and poorly advertised. And this is what I was angry about. The Wi-Fi. This is why I couldn't use the Wi-Fi. I remember now. It had all these. So we got given this information sheet with a bunch of coupons, and you had to rip off pieces of paper. It was like, do you want 1 slushie? Redeem this gift card at the reception. And then it was like, do you want 1 Wi-Fi? It said 1 Wi-Fi, and it said for 1 device. You had to go to reception, like rip off a little shit of paper, carry it to reception, redeem your Wi-Fi for your 1 device per room. And then it wasn't like you could go back to your room and use it. Then you had to sit in like an internet area of the resort and just sit there. I would have had to do a podcast like next to the fucking games room, like while people were playing table tennis next to me, right? Which we were considering doing, but I was like, this is so fucked. Let's just do it tomorrow. I can't do it. But yeah, it was awful, man. It was so shit. But now I'm in Sydney now, so we're living it up, and it's good again. And also, I forgot to tell. Actually, we'll put it at the start of the show. I have a bunch more shows on sale, and I keep forgetting to plug them on our podcast. But you've already heard it, so that's fine.
Great.
And Lewis is touring soon as well, aren't you?
Yeah. Mine should be on sale in the next couple of weeks, actually. August, September. I'm going to all the capital cities and a bunch of regionals as well. Pretty much the same tour Luke is doing. It's going to be fucking sick.
Yes. What else do we have? We have one more thing, didn't we?
Oh, well, we can talk about this to end. We've already done 40 minutes. Or we can talk about this. I think it's pretty interesting. The police, this is a crazy story. The police have just done, and this is like the AFP, the FBI, this is like a global, crime sting. It's crazy what they've done. A while ago, you know how there's, encrypted apps that won't, share information with anyone, even the law, from messages that you're sending?
Okay.
There's apps like Telegram, right? So to go beyond that, you can criminals were getting a BlackBerry phone and taking components out of it and then using encrypted apps as well. So there was just no way for police to do anything about messages being sent for super big crime and shit. So what they did was the police instead decided to build a phone themselves and an app called Anom that they owned. This is the FBI, they did this. And then they got inside agents to give these phones to known people in the crime world who would then distribute them to friends thinking that they were just these unhackable, undetectable phones. And eventually, the FBI then taught people how to build these phones themselves and download this custom app that they owned. And what happened was a global network of criminals, starting in America, making its way all the way to Australia, started building and using these phones that were being monitored by the FBI. So what happened was, just in Australia, they did the sting and they started arresting everyone across the world. I read 12,500 arrests across the world were made.
They would have had to wait a bit, right? They would have waited a year to get enough incriminating shit, surely.
Yes.
But isn't that crazy that they're it's such a long play where they're kind of for a bit allowing crime to happen so they can even get more?
Boy, it's pretty crazy, yeah. In Australia, they uncovered 21 murder plots and 3,000 kilograms of drugs and $45 million in cash and assets. Just here, they arrested 200 people. And it's 12,500 people worldwide. So they these criminals were using this app, just openly discussing murders and big drug deals and all that kind of stuff because they thought it was encrypted, and it was just going straight to the FBI.
So it's clearly nothing like the movies, like crime syndicates, because in every movie, every big crime, if it's a crime family or whatever gang, I don't know who these people are, they always have the tech guy that would look into it and be and then trace it back and be nah, that's with the FBI. They clearly just don't. They sound like they kind of run like our business. It seems good from the outside, but behind the scenes it's just a fucking mess, and we haven't done our tax, and it's just a fucking disaster.
Don't say that.
Oh, I meant we're completely on top of our tax. If the ATO's listening, and definitely no reason to look into it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, but isn't that funny though? That's just they can coordinate big crime, but yet they don't have a guy that's oh, hang on, should we check this app out? I think that's crazy. But I guess there was no way of tracing it back to the FBI because clearly some nerd at the FBI made it untraceable.
Well, it's it's real genius because they didn't really do anything. They just taught the criminals how to build these phones, and then they had no idea that it was the FBI the whole time. So there's one guy in Australia who is the main dude that distributed these phones, and he had no idea, so he was not working with the police. But the police are now saying, hey man, so those phones were ours, and you gave them to everyone. It's probably best that you hand yourself in before your friends get you. So...
Oh, wait, so they were that's so... So they were using criminals to catch criminals. That's very smart, yeah.
Yeah, they built the app and then they just gave it to enough people in that world that it just became the accepted method of communication for more high level stuff. This is
going to be a
crazy.
Netflix show in 10 years. I'm keen. It's going to be called The Global Sting, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, I put it in this group chat that I'm in with all these other rappers. I'm like, man, have you guys seen this story? And then 3 guys go, yeah, my mate got done.
Yeah, you really need to change your circles, huh?
Maybe.
You're in some rough Venn diagrams. I
think so.
You've
I
got
was like,
some,
dude, this is crazy, and they're like, we saw it happen.
You have some hectic overlap, but you're never on the other side. You just have overlap with their circles.
Yeah,
it's wild. Yeah, well, guys, that's the bloody podcast. We are now going to do a secret episode. We're going to finish those stories off. So if you want to hear the rest of the stories, and also if you want to support the podcast, we'd appreciate it. Thank you for once again bearing with us during these Zoom episodes. If we talked over each other, it was most likely because of the fuck delay that we were on. You know, it was weird. I don't know if Keelan's going to try and cut it out or not, but I hit kind of the end of my story. There was one moment where I said the thing, and you guys didn't react for 10 seconds. And,
oh no!
And I was like, "Oh, did it bomb?" And then I don't know what happened, but then you all laughed at the same time. So it's like it took 10 seconds for my voice to come through the fucking internet.
Man. Yeah.
You can see the look of distress on my face. I'm like, oh, that was a shit story. I shouldn't have told it.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, if we talked over each other, sorry. We're usually pretty good at not doing that in person, so it must be Zoom if we have done that. Because I think I noticed that happening a few times, and I'm like, oh my God, there's this delay. What's happening?
All right,
but that's Zoom.
here.
Thank you very much. We're going to continue on and do the Patreon episode now. Thanks for supporting us. We appreciate it. And hopefully, lockdown will be ending, and at least I and Keelan and Reuben will be in studio next week. Bye.
Epic. See ya.